Howdy y'all, I am Ariana from San Antonio, here to tell you about Fort Worth's coolest new outdoors art exhibit. We are here in Fort Worth mid-December. As you can probably guess, everything tends to be a little bit dead, a little bit dry and brown, except for these beautiful pieces of art that are cropping up along the Trinity Trails. Now, I would definitely recommend that you would take your friends, take your families, take your dog, come out for a bike ride, a walk, a scooter, any kind of outdoor ambulatory activity, and check these pieces of art out. The one that we have behind me is done by Jason Etherly, who is an Austinite native. Very excited to have him showcasing his art here in Fort Worth. You can see that we have some beautiful butterflies and native wildflowers. Any of you who have done the kind of stereotypical bluebonnet photographs, you probably recognize some of these flowers from those. And like I said, it is December, everything's a little bit brown and gray, but these flowers are going to stay vibrant for years and years to come. So I would definitely recommend, in the midst of COVID 2020, taking yourself outside, getting some vitamin D, and seeing some of these beautiful works of art. Here we are, just a little bit further down from where we were at the last art exhibit on the trail. Now, I'm sure that you can probably hear that there's a little bit of water gurgling and bubbling all around me, and that's because currently I'm standing next to one of the flood control areas for the Trinity River. However, if you just bring your gaze upwards just a little bit, we come to the next piece of artwork amongst this beautiful new art exhibit. This one brought to you by Joshua West out of Azle, Texas. Again, incredibly excited that they're able to share their artwork here with us in Fort Worth. Now, getting a closer look at this artwork, obviously the colors are vibrant. They just pop. It's reminiscent of a wonderful, beautiful sunset. We have these incredible deer, these incredible birds, and more of these beautiful wildflowers that will stay vibrant all year long. But in amongst all of these beautiful renditions of all this different nature, there's also a wonderful message that's in amongst it all that says how rare and beautiful it truly is that we exist. And I think that that's just an absolutely incredible sentiment to just have out amongst the public. Again, these are free to come and see and enjoy for yourselves. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. Well, the eyes have it. Any bird brain can see that this next piece of artwork is absolutely spectacular. Again, these are native Texan species. Our artist Nolan Mueller has done an incredible job of capturing their livelihood and their likeness. These eyes watch you as you're coming down the trail, just waiting for you to get closer and take a better look. But if you think this is good, you should see the front side. Now, like I said, these are, again, native Texas species. I'm sure that some of you may have noticed some of these birds even in your backyard, in your apartment complex, in your parks, in your rivers, like here at the Trinity River. Now, Nolan Mueller is a native of Plano, Texas. So again, incredibly happy to be showing his artwork here in Fort Worth amongst the other wonderful artists. But again, all of these eyes just seem to stare at you as you're making your way through the trails. And it's almost like they're watching you come and look at them and appreciating the artwork. All of their plumage is just so incredibly beautiful and vibrant. And this is definitely a must-have spot and a must-stop spot on the Trinity Trail Museum of Art. Now, for those of you who may be thinking that coming out to see these wonderful pieces of art might not be the most accessible idea, I beg to differ. Right behind me, we have some beautiful apartment complexes, and right on the other side of the river, we have the beginnings of downtown Fort Worth. This is a prime location for anyone and everyone, and super accessible and easy to get to. Now, for this next piece, I'm sure many of you have heard the old adage, it's not the size that matters, but what you do with it that counts. And Robert Allen Burns is a wonderful example of this with this absolutely fantastical piece of artwork that he has behind me. For any of you kind of more into the science fiction, fantasy, or even graphic novels, this art might ring a little bit more closer to home for you. As you can see, we have a beautiful girl riding on a massive bird. And if we come around to the front, we're going to see some even cooler difference. Now, out of hundreds and hundreds of applicants, Robert Allen Burns was one of the few to be picked for this incredible outdoor museum. And he hails from Memphis, Tennessee, one of the few who's not from Texas himself. And as you can see, if you're a Terry Pratchett fan like I am, you might find some things reminiscent of his world, perhaps the Great Atuan, the world turtle. But otherwise, this is just an absolutely incredible example of all the different art that you're going to see. A lot of the artists chose to stay a little more native, but that doesn't mean that that's all there is to see here. Obviously, behind me, this is a prime example of all the different kinds of artwork that you're going to find out here. What a beautiful day for a bike ride, or a run. Now, this beautiful piece has yet to be completed. Painted by artist Mike Tabor from Granbury, Texas. This is a piece entitled Trinity Trout. So if any of you are avid fishermen or fisherwomen, I would definitely encourage you to come out, bring your rod, and keep this lonely fisherman company. Now, like I said, it has yet to be completed. So if you are so inclined, I would definitely recommend coming out here, seeing it as it is now, and actually watching kind of the process as it gets finished and completed. Not all of these pieces of work have been finished yet, so that's kind of the exciting thing. The more you walk, the longer you're here, the more beautiful artwork you get to experience. So what we've shown you today has been a very small selection of the totality of these pieces of art. There are 31 pieces in total, and we only got the time to see a couple. So I would definitely recommend, again, take your family, take your friends, take a picnic, and have an outing. And I so look forward to seeing you all out here experiencing the Trinity Trails Art Museum. And like I said, many of these are done by Texas natives. You get to support Texas artwork, local homegrown, and what's better than that?
Hi, my name is Nolan. This is my mural. It's got a really, really long title, but for short, just call it the Birds mural. The inspiration for this just came from wanting to try to capture the beauty of nature and do it justice. And that was a challenge, but it's beautiful out here. You can actually see all of these birds flying in and out. I didn't see all of them while I was painting this. It was about a month long to do it, but I definitely saw at least about 20 or so different species that you can see up here. But no, I grew up here in Texas, and I'm proud of my state and my region. So I just wanted to make sure did a good job of doing nature justice, I guess.